sidewalks going to be closed off to parking? Like, what if they have to deliver materials or trucks, you know, things like that?
Okay, if there is a delivery, that's going to be something they're going to have to work out with the crew. We'll have a representative out there that is going to keep contact with each business as the work progresses. You know, give them a heads up. Hey, this is where we're going to be working. This is how we're going to handle your foot traffic and your customers and everything. What's going to have to happen is when that foreman or superintendent makes contact, and the property owner is going to have to express their concerns. Hey, I have deliveries. How are we going to handle it? He might say, when you have a delivery, we'll let them into the parking lane, let them, you know, gain access. It's going to be something that they're going to have to work out on a case-by-case basis, because everybody kind of has different systems as to how they, you know, get deliveries and everything.
Will I be able to, like, get that contact information?
Yeah, sure. If you want to, I guess she could probably filter it right through you. Just kind of give her the address, what the concerns are, and we'll have somebody contact the property owner prior to construction. But like I said, they're going to anyway. They're going to be going door to door.
Also,
you know.
Another thing is that we're putting in like a cement wheelchair ramp and bike racks. So how do you coordinate? That is what you're doing.
Okay, you're putting in a cement. When do you plan on doing that?
That's in the probably more later spring. But the bike racks would probably be a good idea to do the bike racks. You know, when the sidewalks open. Or after. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
it'll probably be after. You're going to definitely want to hold off on the handicap ramps, because I'm guessing you have to complete that construction in order to meet code. Is that what that's about? Well, the grades are going to change out there during this construction. The slopes of the sidewalk are going to change in order to meet ADA requirements anyway. So you're going to want to wait until that works.
So we should hold off on any sidewalk, anything, until you guys...
Yeah, I would. The bike racks, it's something you usually install after the sidewalk's complete. I hate to see them ripped out, because that's what they'll do. They'll just rip them out, and then they'll have to be replaced afterwards. So you might as well just wait, hold off on all that stuff. And I'd hate to see you guys put in a new handicap ramp, and then the new sidewalk comes in and the slopes don't match. So you're better off just waiting. Anybody else have anything?
So I guess, thanks, Tony. To recap, there's going to be new sidewalks, new curbs, trees, bump outs at the corners, trash receptacles, trees, and lights for this project. And it's going to go from front to Montgomery. There's going to be 2 crews working at the same time. Front to crease is the first phase of work. So everything that needs to be done in that section will be done at one time, and then we'll move on to crease to Montgomery, and then they will go back from front to crease on the north side of the street, complete all the work, and then move on to crease to Montgomery. Then they'll come back after that with line painting and landscaping. If there are any issues that come up during the course of the project, we're asking everybody to contact me. My email address, I think, is on the letter that we sent out on the flyer. That's going to be the best way to get me, and we'll get right back in touch with you and try to keep issues to a minimum. But we're just asking that you contact me directly so that we can kind of filter all of the issues and keep track of how many problems there are. We've had, like I said, this is the 3rd phase, and we really haven't had any real major issues, so we're not really anticipating a lot of issues this time. But obviously they come up, so just do contact me. And if there are issues in terms of coordinating work that you want to have done, if there's some reason that you need the sidewalk ripped out, then we can coordinate, all of that with the time that they're going to be there, so that you can, handle any kind of utility repairs or like with your ramp that you need to put in. So if Tony is not the project manager, it's a different project manager who will be out there, and I have his contact information, and he and I will talk on a regular basis. I didn't introduce Meredith Davies. She's here representing PennDOT, and I don't know if you have anything that you want to add.
Just the crews are only going to be working from 9 to 3, so they're going to be in off-peak hours to minimize any traffic disturbances. There's not really. We're basically just going to try to minimize the disturbances as much as possible to the area and hopefully just make everything look a lot better.
Yeah, it's maybe a stupid question, but how much of the sidewalk, is it 100% from building to curb that's being replaced?
Yeah, it's about from 6 to 8 inches off the building, all the way to the curb, so it's everything.
When there are quarter properties, how are you going to handle that in terms of the side streets, along Shackamaxon or Day Street, or is it just the adjacent, sidewalk next to Gerard Avenue? Or?
That's actually being worked out right now. Originally, it was just to the corner, but we had an engineer design the handicap ramps at each corner, and we're finding that in order to blend those grades properly, we're probably going to have to go into the side streets, maybe 15 feet. Those drawings are still pending approval. Should have answers on those real soon, but you may see us go 15 feet into each side street.
What about when the handicap ramps have just been built? I just had in one of my buildings, they just built a brand new ramp. What happens with that?
They're going to be handled on a case-by-case basis. We had a surveyor go out and identify every feature outside of every building and catalog it. I think on Gerard alone there's like 1,000 items. So what's going to happen is before we approach an area, we're going to meet with PennDOT, have a walkthrough. Here, here's this issue, here's that issue, here's this issue. How would you like us to handle it? So everything's going to be handled.
Yeah, it was just built literally within the past couple of weeks, so they may not have even gotten out of the survey. So when you blend in, like how will that be handled though? I mean, isn't it going to be kind of strange to have a 50 or 60-year-old sidewalk on the corner stop, halfway into the building, on the side streets?
Yeah, it will be. For the most part, we'll be going right up to every building. But if you have a handicap ramp that's coming from a doorway to the new sidewalk, like I said, there's so many different possibilities out there. We may approach PennDOT and they might say, hey, the slopes are fine, because you have a few different slope sections, like where the trees are along the side can have a certain percentage slope. In the middle, it's more critical because that's where foot traffic is and handicap traffic is, and then from the building to that middle section has a different slope percentage as well. So it's going to be case by case. They might say slope's going to be too great, you guys have to replace that, or they might say it's fine. Here's what we're going to make a field change. Here's how we want you to handle it. So everything's going to be case by case.
Yeah, I was specifically thinking about what you were talking about with the corner properties, how you're going to extend back the sidewalk onto the side street, and how you're just going to chop it, and then you're going to have a 50-year-old sidewalk on the same property with a brand new sidewalk.
Yeah, that's just how it's going to be. Unfortunately, anything going into the side streets is over and above the initial funding for this project as it is. So, other than that, they're not going to go any further.
Initially, when you were talking about the slate, the old slate piece, I have one building where it's got 19th century slate sidewalks. Like, how's that going to be handled at this point?
They did do a survey and determine what is historical slate and what is not. And there's some areas identified on the plans. I can't tell you off the top of my head where they are, but they're going to remove that historic slate. They're going to stockpile it, clean it, and then reuse it in another section of this project. So it won't go to waste. It's going to be, it's already been figured out. It will be reused.
Is there a possibility of finding out specifically what they're going to do with the certain buildings?
What do you mean?
Well, the slate, like where...
There is a roadway drawing that given to Angel, and it outlines where the slate is to be removed and where it's to be relocated. You could send her an email if anybody's concerned. Send her an email. She could forward the plans out, or maybe put a link on your website.
Yeah, after today, the video of this meeting and all of the other documents are going to be on our website. So you can go there and get it. And if you want to send me the address to the property where you just put the wheelchair ramp in, that way I can coordinate that with the project manager, and you can be aware of it and see how to handle it and contact you. We'll do that. Also, I wanted to say that the city has their facade improvement dollars that's available, and it will cover work to sidewalk. So if you have a corner property and you want to get that, the rest of it finished so that it's new sidewalk, there are funds available to help pay for it. They won't pay for all of it. I think they'll pay probably about 50%, but there are some available. If there's any facade work or sidewalk work that you want to do, so we can help you with that application.
I just have an Angel question. I think I know the answer. Corners or where, no special curb treatments or anything. We talked about some things years ago that might be a little extra. Was there any discussion on anything ever happened? Any textured concrete, any patterned concrete, anything?
Well, this is what Tony was talking about with the slate. So it will be reused, I think, at Frankfurt and Girard, and I think there may be one other location where it's going to.
I think it's in Columbia. Is that other?
Columbia, I think it's Columbia.
So that's the slate, but just in terms of every intersection or edging or anything, there's nothing unusual about what's going on here. So
Yeah.
The sidewalk's all going to be
what we see down the road.
standard sidewalk, but all the curb will be granite curb. So it's definitely an improvement on some of the existing curb that's out there. That'll look nice. But yeah, other than that, there's no special patterns or textures or anything like that.
We did talk about the bicycle traffic and how we had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and an issue came up about how people bike down Girard Avenue, and with the bump outs. The question was, could something be done so that the bump out didn't come all the way out to the parking lane so that bikers can pass through, and just basically for two reasons. That the curb will still continue to come out. One is because technically Girard Avenue is not a bike, there are no bike lanes along Girard Avenue. And then also, I think the other issue was it, for whatever reason, had to come up to the curb to bump out. To the parking lane.
Well, the one representative that said he was part of Girard biking something or other, the people don't really use that road because it's so busy that bikers know to avoid it anyway, and we can't really change the plans from what they are, if that's not even that main of a route that bikers use.
Yeah, PennDOT's standpoint is basically when bikers have to obey the laws of the road, use